wrestling season. Here we go. Come on, gotta get ready, cut some weight. Wrestling season. This is my year. This is my year. Oh, it's wrestling season. Yes. 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 Wrestling season! God, I can't believe I got locked out. Somebody messaged me back. God, it's cold out here. Gotham City. My gosh. Whew. Ooh, what is that? What's that? Look! Don't hurt me! Wrestling season! Oh. High five! Ah! Ow! Ah! Tim is the worst during wrestling season. Ah!
Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Telegraph Herald, More Than the Score, presented by Dubuque Bank and Trust and Dubuque Auto Plaza. I am your host, Steve Ortman. Alongside me is Tim O'Neill for a very special wrestling edition of More Than the Score. Tim, high school wrestling season is a very exciting time for the athletes, the coaches, the fans. It's one of the biggest events in Iowa when you're talking about the state tournament, and it all begins here in the next couple of weeks, and it starts with a great city matchup.
Absolutely. Hempstead and Wahlert, it's one that we've been waiting a while for. Those teams have not met in a dual meet the last 2 seasons because of a quirk in the Mississippi Valley Conference scheduling. And so this year they're back on the schedule. They get a chance to meet. So kicking it off with a doozy, both teams looking on paper like they should be really good. And the duel, who knows who's going to win that one? It could come down to the very last weight and the very last minute of that weight. So those matches are the best. So that's what I'm going to be rooting for on Thursday night.
Sure. And when you take a look at the wrestling teams here in the city, you know, what wrestlers stand out to you and what teams you think can maybe do some damage as far as in the team duels?
Well, in the city, you know, there were a couple of big wrestlers last year who are now gone. Gannon Gremmel for Dubuque Hempstead, you know, he was a state championship favorite, and he won that state title for Dubuque Hempstead. He's now at Iowa State. And Brandon Haas was another who had title aspirations. He took 3rd place last year. He's now at Northern Iowa. So Hempstead's got a couple of holes to fill there at the upper weights of their lineup, but they got a bunch of really solid young wrestlers who've been there, looking to move up the podium. You talk about Dylan Gottschalk at 106. This is going to be his 3rd year wrestling at 106. He's a 2-time state qualifier. Nathan Feldman, he's a senior. He's looking to become a 3-time state qualifier. And Alex Ward, also looking to become a 3-time state qualifier. He's got 2 state place medals in his first 2 seasons for Hempstead. So you got those guys. Joe Pins also qualified for state for them last year. They got some other guys who got some experience last year looking to make a move up. So Hempstead should be good again after making the state duels last year. And then if you look at Wahlert, you know, they lost their only state qualifier last year in Anthony Dudek, but they got a bunch of quality young wrestlers coming back, a couple of guys ranked, and another wrestler at heavyweight, Blake Bradley, who's wrestled really well, who's just outside of those rankings. So Wahlert looks like it could be very competitive in the MVC this year and perhaps send a couple more guys to state. And then at senior, you know, it's been a few years since the Rams have been down to state. I talked to Coach Joe Conley, and he mentioned, you know, that is a goal of theirs, is to get the team back down to state. It's been since 2012-13, I believe it was, since they last had a wrestler down in Des Moines. So they got some wrestlers who've got some experience and looking to step up and improve. You know, Alex Richard and Matt Conley are right there in that group, along with Mitch Demmer at heavyweight, who Joe Conley said is going to get pushed in the room on a weekly basis, may get his toughest matches of the year in the wrestling room from Michael and Thomas Wellborn, who are going to be pushing him for that starting spot at heavyweight. So, you know, as you look at the 3 city teams, it could be really competitive duels, and hopefully, you know, we'll see a lot of Dubuque County wrestlers down at state in February.
Well, I'm not sure if I should really ask another question because, as you can tell, you can really go on and on about wrestling. But when you go outside the city, looking around the area, any wrestlers really stand out to you this year?
Yeah, there's two that stand out quite a bit, and they both entered the season ranked #1 for Western Dubuque. Yeah, you look at 182, Max Lyon went undefeated last year, won his first state title. He's going to be ranked #1 at 182 again, looking to go undefeated again for the second straight year. He lost in the finals as a sophomore, so a 3-time state finalist. If he's able to get there again, that's pretty solid accomplishment. And then heavyweight for the Bobcats, Aaron Costello, is ranked #1 at 285. He lost in the championship match to Hempstead's Gannon Gremmel last year and dominated every other opponent he wrestled other than Gremmel. They wrestled like 4 or 5 times last year, and Costello only had like 6 losses or something like that. So Costello, the heavyweight division is his this year, and Western Dubuque isn't just those two. They aren't just those 2 wrestlers. They got a bunch of other good wrestlers lower in the weights. Braden Burt is ranked, Jacob Close is ranked, Elijah Demmer is ranked, and Luke Kleesner is ranked. So Western Dubuque's got a lot of quality depth there. Bobcats are going to be looking to get back to the state duels for the first time in several seasons.
Sure, and it's looking like it's going to be another great wrestling season here for the area. And we got it right off the bat. We're going to be bringing it to you. Talk a little bit about some live stream action we got coming to you this week.
Well, 2 of them. Right off the gates, we got Hempstead and Wahlert on Thursday. You can catch that on telegraphherald.com at 7:15 about. And then on Saturday, Hempstead is hosting the Dubuque Invitational. We will be live streaming the championship matches of that at approximately 3 o'clock, also at telegraphherald.com. So make sure to check it out. They should be some very entertaining matches. I know at the Dubuque Invitational, it should be the 3 city schools plus Western Dubuque, and then Lancaster and Iowa Grant usually come down from Wisconsin. I haven't checked to make sure all those teams are there, but you know, it's usually a pretty solid day of wrestling, so it should be a good time, so check that out.
Yeah, it'll be a fun start to the season, and we'll also have all kinds of updates on Twitter at TH Sports Feed, as well as coverage on our Facebook page, Telegraph Herald Sports. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Telegraph Herald, More Than the Score, presented by Dubuque Bank and Trust and Dubuque Auto Plaza. He's Tim O'Neill, I'm Steve Ortman, and when it comes to high school wrestling this season, we got you down for the count. That's what they do, right?
No.
They do. Slap the mat when they get a pin?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still learning, but that's how it works.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
that's how it works. Wrestling.
Wrestling.
High five? No.